up, people? So, I am making a YouTube video, which I know must be a little bit shocking for some, but we had a charity stream recently, and one of the incentives was that you guys get to pick the subject for a YouTube video. And this is that YouTube video. Now, the eventual subject that we ended up settling on was this one right here. Thank you, Clark. A history of Artsy Glitch, from how she started VTubing, how long she's been VTubing, the ups and downs of it, past models, etc. So with that, I suppose let's get right into that. Stuff, thing, yeah, stuff, thing, thinging stuff, thinging on stuff. Summer love sweets, come stay with me. I'm just trying to eat, service you can't beat. Serve you up a little treat, /artsy, twitch.tv. It all started when I was born. I'm just kidding. To start off with, I do have to warn some people that there will likely be some mild touching of themes, not going into detail about drug use and things of that nature. So keep that in mind if that's something you're sensitive for. Begin. To start off with, I'm not going to go into my childhood, at least my early childhood, because I don't feel super comfortable talking about it. I'll just say it was rather traumatic. Holy fuck! Fast forward, I'm 18 years old. I don't talk to my family anymore. I'm in and out of homelessness. I get into drugs. I become an addict, but most of you guys know some of the stories by now anyway. Then by my early 20s, I'm living in a trailer park. What the fuck is going on? With my ex-boyfriend, and he is also an addict, and I'm just in a really bad situation. I didn't have any really connections to my family. I was very depressed, very apathetic, and overall just kind of having a bad time out there. Then a family member reached out and said, "Hey, you look like shit. You wanna come stay with me? Get away from all that?" And I said yes. And so I went to go move with said family member in their apartment, and they bought me a laptop, which was very kind of them. And I started spending a lot of time on that laptop because in this new city that I had just moved to, I didn't have any friends. And having sacrificed my old life and started to get sober, I started spending a lot of time on this laptop. Pretty soon after, I met a friend who played VRChat, and me as a little desktop user would go around kind of hanging out with them and just have fun. Got bars. As my world building adventures and escapades kind of evolved, and I started to get a little bit of recognition on VRChat. Not a lot, but a little. I started to have a lot of my friends tell me, "Hey Artsy, you're kind of entertaining." When I was very little, I found an old camcorder. An old little camera from probably the 1980s or some shit. I don't know. I found this camera and I was like, yo, parents, what is this? And they were like, "That's a camera." And I was like the YouTubers use? And they were like, "I don't know what that is. Get the fuck out of my house." But I used to create little videos when I was 7. I'm very glad I did not know how to upload them. But there was a little bit of me who always wanted to kind of be some kind of content creator. You know, I already had my VRChat worlds and everything, and with everyone telling me to start streaming, kind of just jumped right into it. I didn't know much about Twitch at the time. PogChamp, I didn't know what the fuck that meant. Breaking news. You're a fucking idiot. But I started doing a little research and I noticed, hey, this could be really fun. And like I said, when I was younger, I kind of always wanted to make videos and stuff, but I just could never, I never really got into it, especially with how derailed my life got. Anyway, I get VRoid Studio. I make some lame little VRoid. I invite some friends over to watch my cute little hobby streams. I used to do little skits. Some might remember the lewd Home Depot ASMR skit, among others. And it was kind of just a fun little time. After that, I didn't really stream much. It was just kind of this one-time thing. I had a few one-off streams, but I never really considered it as something I would do for a long time. And I don't know what came over me, but eventually I just got this kick and I really wanted to get back into it. So I went back to the drawing board. I made a new model, Purple Artsy, that some of you may remember. Good morning, everyone. It's where we get memes like the ramen bowl.
Hello, this is the last brain cell speaking.
Can I help you? And the dog meme. Not a dog. I have fluffy ears. Hit them. They're fluffing around. And we had a few iterations of this purple artsy from way back when. I will show some clips from old TikTok videos and everything so you can kind of feel like you were there, you know? Let's go side. Nailed it. Let's watch the sunset or the sunrise together. Don't you swim away, you little wagon. No, shut up. You don't even get to say it like that. No. Give me all your money. I got glands y'all don't even know about. Unknown to science. Aw, no bitches. Ooh, it's a spooky floating box. Well, it sure is distracting. Ah! During this time, we mainly played VRChat, Genshin Impact, and just kind of a variety of games that you guys recommended to me. I think this is when I met Mocha, and a lot of you as well. But things were kind of casual still. At this point, it was kind of like, okay, this is like a solid hobby that I'm doing, but it wasn't really much of anything. Until we started to grow a ton. And I think one of the biggest sources of growth that we had was solar cabins. When I made solar cabins, we were kind of in the midst of a lot of change on the Twitch channel and as a community. At this point, we had kind of started to build a community, which was really cool. Some of you might remember Red Artsy, the 3D model that we used for a long time. Dodge cooldown at a time like this. In this economy, are you serious right now? What? Eventually, we got into the live 2D era, which was a big deal for us. Ah, hello there. That was when I started to kind of take my branding a little more seriously. That's when I really started to formulate like the lore and the connection that my VTuber has to my VRChat world. Which, by the way, my VRChat worlds all have a very convoluted story and lore that goes behind everything. And I really started to kind of like write my character in along with it as well. I won't get super deep into the lore, but with the live 2D debut, I kind of like more revealed that the Red Artsy, for example, the live 2D model, I kind of revealed that my VTuber lore was that I was a cat girl, like chimera, living in a cyberpunk dystopia. You know, controlled by this evil corporation called Pacifica. And I had inherited a love hotel in Tokyo. I'm Artsy Glitch, de facto owner of the Cyberlove Suites Hotel in Cyberlove Street, District 7. And this dystopian hodgepodge of themes and everything else. And it was really fun writing that lore and kind of weaving myself into the story that I had already kind of created through my environmental designs. I suppose I would call our live 2D and even kind of our Red Artsy 3D era kind of the Cyberlove era.
Good morning, Okinawa. It's another foggy day here in the City of Mist. Pacific security officials say their acquisition of southern Japan is almost complete. But until then, let's enjoy another hit. Only on Cyberlove Radio.
It's where I started to get a lot of notoriety from VRChat and started to weave in a whole story and this kind of like deeper lore. And at the same time, VTubing became less of a hobby and more of part of my job, especially because my job at the time was making VRChat worlds. Still is to this day, really. That's when I opened my shop. That's actually when I also stopped doing commissions and started just kind of working on my own art and doing my best to monetize that and sustain myself doing that. During that time, ironically, we didn't play a lot of VRChat. And I think that's because a lot of the community that we had built was very diverse from all sorts of different communities, be it the gacha community, or the Yakuza community. Hey, buddy. Oh no, it's freaking... Oh! or, you know, Half-Life. We played a lot of Valve games in our day as well. Surprise! We had this kind of like hodgepodge of all sorts of different people. And not to mention, VRChat streaming oftentimes kind of requires like a close-knit posse who are in the game with you. At least that's how a lot of VRChat streamers do it. And I didn't really have that. I didn't really have like a super close group of friends. I more or less just kind of had my Twitch community. You guys were kind of like my only friends for a long time. Well, I shouldn't say only friends, but you kind of get what I mean. I was very lonely, and y'all kind of offered me a way away from that, you know? Which I think is kind of why this all started in the first place. I moved to a town where I didn't know anyone in real life, kind of started to bury myself in a computer, but stumbled upon so many wonderful things. I started making skills and learning how to 3D model and learning how to socialize and be confident and stream, build a wonderful community and family. All of that being said, it's difficult to talk about this without mentioning the fact that, well, it's no joke, I'm a bit of a workaholic. I work endless nights building VRChat worlds, trying to market myself, trying to run my shops, trying to troubleshoot people who are buying things from my shops, maintaining updates from VRChat, maintaining a Twitch schedule, maintaining the community, maintaining friends, maintaining family. It's a lot. So I do have to mention, I often feel really guilty for not reaching out enough to the community these days. I promise I'm not crying a little bit right now. I promise. It's something I hope to do more as we kind of evolve into this new era. And there's been a lot of growing pains. You guys know I've been taking a lot of breaks. I've been focusing a lot on kind of side projects, and a lot of which are more VR related. That doesn't change the fact that I love VTubing and I love all of you very much. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. So thank you for being here and understanding and growing with us and being a part of everything. And the reason I mentioned so much VRChat stuff, even though the question was mostly about VTubing, is because at this point, it's kind of the same thing to me. Part of the reason I caught the VTubing bug so hardly is because for a long time, I didn't feel like I had my own life. Mocha? Hi. I'm in a bucket. To elaborate, I talked earlier about how I was a drug addict and I kind of felt like my whole life had been thrown away. When I started to get on VRChat alongside the same time that I'm getting sober and coming off all of these drugs and changing my lifestyle, I started to have a paradigm shift where I no longer was seeing what was destroyed. Now I was seeing what I could build. Follow your dreams. All the ridiculous things that you didn't think you could do. Guess what? You can do those things. And in a weird way, I think one of the most incredible forms that I've found to build things is a virtual self. Now, I know that kind of makes me sound like a bit of a NEET. And that's totally not wrong. These days, I'm a huge recluse. I will not touch grass. But when so much of my life had been really taken away from me when I was young, it was kind of neat to know that I could create things. And among those things was not only my VRChat worlds or the content that I create on Twitch, it was kind of a version of myself that I didn't hate. And by creating that like strawman version of myself, somehow it's managed to kind of train me to like myself in real life. It's given me confidence and social skills and desires and wants and passions that I would have never had before. So if she got pregnant, could you see the baby?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything there.
No, I choose to believe she is breedable. It's given me hope. Now, I know I make it sound really dramatic, but kind of just is what it is. Now, I still have issues. There's still a lot of self-hate that I hold down deep inside. I think a lot of us struggle with that. But I genuinely think that this whole VTubing thing and building this community is something that's really helped me. But yeah, guys, I don't know. It's been a huge pleasure, a huge journey, We built an amazing community, and we continue to do amazing things and build and grow, and it's where I'm at now is somewhere I could have never imagined being at 5 or 6 years ago. Now, I know this video is supposed to be a little more informative about my history as a VTuber and everything, but honestly, the journey's been kind of blurry. I think the more important things about my history and being a VTuber and how I kind of fell into this crazy life of mine. Yeah, I know we kind of went on this rant about, you know, the sentimental aspects of things, but again, I don't think the history is really something I have too much to say on. The contrast of then and now is so blurry. It's almost too much to describe. Regardless, I hope I answered some of the questions you had, Clark, as well as everyone else from our community. But thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. No, I'm just a wet onesie wearing dog. You happy?